don't you think you should throw in an intro, or is this going to be like...
Alright, I'll start with the intro. Alright, welcome back to World of Tanks with Bluech. I'm actually not here alone today, I have a friend. I know. It's pretty exceptional for me. Anyway, this is Dewman77. He calls for Reddit and also for his WGLNA Silver team.
Hello, everybody.
So, we played a match on Ghost Town and Clan League the other week against Wolverines, and Dewman was calling, and we're going to take you through a bit of the calling process and the actual game itself. Why don't you take it away, Dewman? Explain the strat.
Alright, so the basics of, learning to call, especially for Clan League. Clan League is a lot about knowing when to flex and how to have people positioned just right so that you can flex just right. So, the first basics of starting off with a strat is getting initial positions. These positions don't have to be relatively the strongest positions in the world, but they have to be of relative strength, that way people don't just die. So if we can look at this map here, Ghost Town, these spots here are designed to have the greatest effect of keeping people alive and less about throwing out damage. As you can see, these E5s here, they are highlighted in blue. They are more of spotting the 2-cap area, letting us know as a team if the enemy is playing the 2-cap area, aka these positions in here. And this is relatively safe because it's in a bit of a low ground. They can stay hull down, things of that nature. They can also join the group by going around the buildings this way, or just joining the group this way if we see fit. That way they don't just get cut off and die if they decide, to push into them quite aggressively. And as you can see, they are backed up by 2 E3s here, as well as 2 215Vs here. They can just throw out some extra damage if they decide to cross into the open here, as well as watch this area here. This spot is a little bit less safe because you're facing an enemy that will be hull down playing this area here and is exposed to a ton of crossfire, so it's more of a flex position, so just keep that in mind if you do put people there. It's not an effective fighting position. You want them more to flex. It's just in the perfect position to flex whichever way that you need to flex. These 2 E100s here, it's very important that you have them shoot down the buildings. That way, if anybody plays on the 1-cap, aka put IS-7s or 113s there, the E100s can just HE them in the face, get some resets. But if these buildings are up, it's quite hard to do because you have to shoot down the buildings first, and sometimes you won't reload in time, which kind of sucks. But their position is very important. They're less about flexing and more about getting these critical HE resets on Cap 1, just to keep yourself alive, your team alive. That way we can flex whichever way we need to. We have the time to flex whichever way we need to. This 50B is very critical in allowing yourself to either A, help these E5s here, or help the flex force here. He's able to throw out a clip, basically killing any tank in the game, and or bringing him down to 2 or 3 shots. It's very important in a push like this, especially with only 14 tanks, and allowing our team to regroup a little bit, stabilize, and kill a tank for free, basically. Very rarely will you see South play more than a couple tanks, and these mediums are here, just able to sit behind these hills here, stay hull down, stay safe, able to flex whichever way they need to, be it coming back up the 1 line and joining in behind the 50B, or going all the way around the JK line and getting behind the enemy on the 2-cap, or getting behind the enemy on the 1-cap.
Alright, so that's what we thought was going to happen this game. We're going to go ahead and switch over to World of Tanks here and see what actually did happen. Alright, so here we are in the replay. I'm playing the FV215B, which is a amazing tier 10 heavy tank, and Dewman is over there in his 50B. We're going to go ahead and get started here. They've got a comp of 3 E100s, 4 FV215Bs, 3 E5s, and 4 140s. The 140s being the most unique part of their comp, because it's not really expected that you'd see that many mediums on a map like this.
So looking at this from a caller standpoint, before the game even starts, like during the countdown, you want to be thinking to yourself, hey, they have these many tanks and this lineup on this map. And right now I'm thinking, they have 4 2 and 5Bs, which you would normally see play about the B7 E7 area, or excuse me, D7 E7 area. Just because they have huge hold down potential, can throw out a ton of damage basically for free. And I'm expecting either a 2-cap play with a 1-cap play based around the 7 line area, just for this reason. But as we can see at this point in the game, I'm thinking to myself, hey, we haven't spotted anything. Maybe we should get a little bit more scouty with the mediums. And here we go. We spot all of the heavy tanks in the south. And at this point, I'm making sure the north end of the map is clear with the tanks in the north, allowing everybody to get in position here. Not much our medium tanks can do at this point.
Yeah, this looks like they overplayed this a little bit. Zero got pretty deep in there. And he got the spots, but I'm not sure it was really worth a tank at this point.
But with the positioning of the E5s, we're able to throw out some pretty early damage onto their medium tanks. It's pretty unfortunate we don't pick up the single shot 140 there, but it's the way it is with this positioning and a push like this. But at this point in the game, we can see that the north side of the map is completely clear. Our E100s and single 215B are able to join up the group here and just set up a static defense. Lots of crossfires set up, making sure that they can't really get around us too much, and keeping the 2-cap clear. Keep in mind, in this game mode, you have to either cap out or kill all of your enemies as the attacker. You can't really let it draw out, because the defending team will get a win. And as we can see, we see the opportunity to have a lot of tanks push in from the south area, get some shots into their E100s and 215Bs crossing in the west, basically for free. Unfortunately, Bluech took a hit, but things like this are going to happen. And they're continuing to push. Our E3s are just punishing the enemy.
And this is a good time to talk about focus fire, I guess. Focus fire is one of the most important parts of the game in competitive games because it means you can kill a tank faster than your enemy, and a shoot Duck of Death's gun there. But aside from that fact, what we're failing to do here really is kill one tank. We've got a 20 hit point 140 there that's kind of driving through the middle of the fight that we're not killing. And it's already 2-3, so we're down in this game, and that's going to keep coming up because we're not going to be able to kill any tanks for a while here.
And as Bluech said, we're not going to be able to kill any tanks, which is pretty not good in a team playing standing, because you want to keep the tanks even.
That it's 2-6.
Looking around, we'll see the HPs are even, but they have more guns on the field, which is not good for us. So this is where our focus fire could be a lot better. Focus fire, greatly important. If we had these one-shots off the field, not only would they be at an HP deficit, but they would be at a tank deficit.
And right here we see the focus fire come in. We start picking up the one-shots, and right there we took it from 3-7 to 7-7 in about 25 seconds.
And this is quite huge because this will allow us to, reorganize a bit. As you can see, our tanks are more centralized as theirs are spread out between 2 flanks, and their focus fire will be split because of this, while ours will be the same because we are more centralized.
So part of the important things that I saw us do there was that we got all of our forces kind of into 4 squares on the mini-map in the EF5-6 range. All of our tanks are right in there, so we were able to keep all of our guns and HP in the fight for the entire time, whereas they were kind of spread out and we were able to get some flanks coming in. And now it's just cleanup at this point. It was looking really rough there for a second, but we were able to focus out the low health tanks.
And as you can see, there's only 1 tank left. Bluech and Flare are killing him at this point. And from a player standpoint, that might have been super exciting, super confusing. But this is where calling experience comes in. You need to learn to basically get yourself to recognize what needs to happen and focus less on pinning your shots and more of controlling your tanks, controlling the enemy tanks, things of that nature.
Alright, so big shout out to Dewman for both calling this battle and coming to do a commentary on it. He's a great guy. Give him a shout out if you see him in game. Looking at the end game screenshots here, I am of course on top where I should be. doing 4,300 damage, 3 kills. The FV215B is a really fantastic tank. Other notables, the mediums kind of got wrecked. The E3s did well. You saw them holding the center of the courtyard there. 50B probably could have done more, but I guess we'll give it to Dewman since he's calling the battle. Alright, so I will see you next time, and let me know if you enjoyed this kind of video. I had a lot of fun making it, and I think Dewman did as well. So if you liked it, we'll do some more. Alright, thank you.